and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. Today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different from normal. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. Now I want to clarify right here and now, this is not a makeup channel. I will not be doing makeup videos on the regular. I'm just going to do something a little bit different because makeup videos are kind of the reason why I got into YouTube in the first place. So I really love watching them, and I really love watching Chit Chat Get Ready With Me's in particular. The topic of discussion today is going to be not knowing what's next. And the reason that this particular topic is so important to me is because that's where I currently find myself at the moment. I am working on a production set. Some of you may know that. I work in television and film. Maybe I should start doing makeup while I do this talking. I have a mirror right here, so this is the mirror I'm going to be looking at versus, I don't know, some people have a mirror above their camera. Like, I don't know how that works. It's not a makeup channel, so I don't know. I just watch a lot of makeup channels. So yeah. Anyway, what I'm using today is L'Oreal True Match, and this is in shade C7. I'm using my Dirty Beauty sponge. So, not knowing what's next. As I said, I work in television and film. I'm actually working on a TV show right now, and the show is about to wrap. The show ran from, what is it? It was like May. The show ran from like May until October. So it wraps, we are wrapping in October, and the beginning of October actually, and that is going to be our last episode of this show. So I have a few other things lined up that I'll be working on after that, but as far as like having another job that I can go into, because the way this particular show works, we film every other week. So right now we're on an off week. We're on 1 week, off 1 week. So we're off this week, and yeah. So not having another actual position that I can go into is kind of nerve-wracking. But I'm the type of person that I am very like free-spirited. Okay, I'm back. My SD card was full. Rookie YouTube mistakes. So I think I left off. I'm gonna keep applying the foundation, the same one. I think I left off talking about how I was, again, working at a production company, with a production company. We're getting ready to wrap. What's next? What is next? That is a question. So when I say like the what's next, it's kind of like you deciding what do you want to do with your time. I remember when I was in college, and I remember being there for a major that I did not like and kind of putting up with it and deciding that I didn't necessarily like the major, but the industry was something that I was interested in, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to use that to my benefit, use that as an adult. I feel like being in your 20s, you always hear being in your 20s is your selfish years, the time for you to go out and do things that you want to do and find who you are and all that mushy-gushy stuff. But it's like so true. One thing that I say about me is I really like cliches, and I like cliches because they are true. Like, they come from somewhere. Foundation looks pretty good. Moving on to the next step. I think I just about pounced my face 5 million times. So I'm good. Moving on to the next step, which is going to be, I think I'm going to do concealer. This is my MAC, top's on, MAC Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NW40. So I'll be using that, and I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to use this brush that I always use. Use a brush I always use, which is this one. It's Coastal Scents. Oh, Coastal Scents brush. I don't know the name. I want my Get Ready With Me's to be like, this is my tester. This is my tester run. I want my Get Ready With Me's to be about, to actually be videos of me actually going somewhere. Today I'm actually going to go get tacos. And no, I don't usually put on a full face of makeup to go get tacos. I just was hungry and decided that's what I'm going to do. This is a recreation of one of the looks that I wore in the introduction of my, what video was that? I think it's the summer style video. I'll link that in here. It's not much space in the frame, so I'll link it either in frame or under in the description box. One of my subscribers asked me to do this recreation or do this look, so that's what I'm doing. I feel like when you stress things and you try to make things happen, and you try to like find the answers to things faster than they just kind of naturally, organically come, that's when you end up not necessarily making bad decisions, but not making the right decisions for you, more so making decisions for other people. And I know that as a 20-something, that's really easy to do because you're in the stage of your life where, I'm assuming that most of you guys are young. When you're in that stage, it's easy to like listen to your parents and listen and go off what your friends are doing. Oh, my friends are having kids and getting married and they have these jobs, and why am I not in that same boat? But depending on what you want to do, it doesn't necessarily come like that. Me wanting to do film and TV and that kind of thing, those things are not something you can just go to school for and just get a job. Like, it doesn't work like that. The more things that you get on, the more things that you say yes to, the more people that you will meet, and the further it'll take you. When you are trying to do something that's unconventional, you're not going to be able to go about it in a conventional route. Of course, you have to have a go-getter spirit if you want to do something like that. You have to kind of go out and find these opportunities, find these places to network, find things that you can get yourself involved in. You have to look, be persistent, and you'll find them. I'm going to use some of this Black Radiance concealer. I don't know what the heck this color this is. Medium to dark, 8013. And really, we all kind of stress ourselves out or overthink things. I know I overthink everything. I'm like the definition of an overthinker. That's me. We all kind of put ourselves in situations where we're like, oh my god, I'm stressing out about this. What am I gonna do next? Oh my god, I don't have a plan. Blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, there's always gonna be some things that you can't control. Like maybe someone gets sick and you weren't able to meet up with them to do such and such, and maybe that threw you off your plan because you thought you were going to be able to get onto a show or get onto something by this certain date, and now it's not going to happen. All you can do is work for what you want and put yourself in situations to be able to achieve things that are in line with your goals. Another thing, and when you're always worried about like what's coming up next, it's kind of hard for you to appreciate and really be in the now, if that makes sense, to really appreciate what's going on at the moment, and to really soak up your current situation and to learn all that you can from that current situation. So all of that kind of got me to thinking about being appreciative for what you're currently doing. When you're so worried about what am I going to do next, like I'm in college and I'm about to graduate. Some of you, I graduated in December, so some of you may be in that situation where you're graduating in a few months, and you have your degree now, and you're gonna be out in the real world, and you don't know what the heck is the next step. I'm doing my eyebrows with the L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Definer. I like this thing; it's really freaking good. It kind of reminds me of the MAC. I'm not sure what it's called, the MAC eyebrow pencil, which is like triple this price. This is like, I don't know, it's triple, but I know it's definitely more than this one. This is a good one. Good option, a good drugstore option. And we all love drugstore options. I know I do. So take comfort in the fact that you're not the only one that's in this situation. You aren't the first, you won't be the last. And there's a lot of things that you can do, again, to get yourself to where you want to go. Like, life does not come with certainties. Like, you can't control everything. You only can control what you can control. If you're the type of person who, again, is maybe wanting to work in a creative industry or creative field, and you're wondering how the heck you're gonna like break into that field. I remember when I was graduating. I remember when I graduated from college, which was a year ago, not that long ago. People would say like, I don't want to make a mistake. A lot of people are worried about making mistakes. I know I was worried about making mistakes. Speaking again for myself. When I graduated and I was so worried about like getting an internship or getting a job and like doing something completely wrong and being kicked out of the fashion industry, like that's how I felt. Like I was, I remember I was like applying for internships and applying for jobs and like thinking like, what if I get this job? I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Because I didn't do a lot of internships while I was in college, and that's something I definitely suggest if you're in college and not know what the next step is. If you're still young enough, even if you're a senior about to graduate. Internships are great. They're very helpful. So sign up for some internships if you don't know necessarily what field you want to go into, especially for some of the younger viewers out there. Maybe going into college, even in like I remember doing like a volunteering or whatever, even in like middle school. So you can do these things very young. So yeah, like I said, when I was about to graduate, I was so worried about getting a job or an internship and not knowing what I was doing, because like I said, I didn't take up that many internships while I was in college. So I was afraid that I would get an internship and I would fail, and then I would be kicked out of the fashion industry, not be able to get a job then, which is dumb. So there's always a way to get to where you want to go. You just have to figure out how. I'm going to set all this cream I just put on my face. I'm going to use the Ben Nye Banana. I'm going to use the Ben Nye Banana powder to set my makeup. And I'm also going to use a little bit of the Airspun powder as well. Fear is a bastard. Fear will not get you anywhere. Like when you're scared to do things and you're scared to even try to do things and try to fail, no one tries to fail first and foremost. You have to like start somewhere. Another cliche, you have to start somewhere before you're able to master something. If you're in a situation where you don't know what is next for you, just keep in mind that you have to start somewhere and find things that are going to help you get to that point. Like, that's literally all it's about. It's about making a plan and figuring out what things you need to do to get yourself to where you want to go. People love to get free help. Why internships are so popular, because people love people to work for them for free. And if you have a good internship, like I did, I had one good internship, maybe two. I can't even remember right now. But if you have a good internship, you're going to learn something from it. They're not just going to have you out there grabbing coffee and stuff like that. Yeah, you may be doing a little bit of that too, but that shouldn't be the main thing that you're doing at your internship. If that is the case, you should get a new internship. Yeah, help out friends that are doing similar things that you are. Interact, network, find people in your area that are doing similar things that you are and that can help you get to where you want to go. And, you know, chat with them. You just, networking is the name of the game when you're trying to find your next step, I feel. Another topic that I wanted to touch on. So, again, this is speaking from my own experience, my own stories, my own life stories. When I moved to New York, which is one of the hardest cities to live in, hands freaking down. When I moved to New York, I felt like I put myself in a situation where I was in over my head, I guess I can say. And I don't necessarily even feel like I was, it wasn't in a bad way. I didn't feel in over my head as if I was like drowning in anything like that. It just felt like this is a city that's so expensive to live in, and I just was not financially able to support the kind of life that I wanted to have. Basically, I felt like I wasn't making enough money to provide the kind of life that I wanted to live. So, that being said, I was in the struggle phase. When you're in that situation, it's hard to kind of see out of it. Or the thing about my stay in New York is that the struggle pushes you to work harder. Like, it pushes you to really look at yourself like, what am I doing? Like, is this what I want to be doing? Is this what I want for myself? And of course, it's not going to be like that forever. You're not going to, if you're doing something right, you won't be struggling forever. While you're in that phase, that I'm struggling phase, it's really, if you're deep in the I'm struggling phase, it's really difficult to kind of be like, okay, this is temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. I'm working towards a better tomorrow. This is just what I'm having to deal with right now. And that's how I looked at it. I was doing, like I said, I was doing a lot of production stuff. But the thing about production working, especially when I was production assistant. So production assistance is not being a production assistant. Typically, is not a permanent position on a crew. There are a lot of different jobs on a television or film crew, but being a production assistant is not a permanent crew. You don't need a production assistant, is what I'm saying. So I would have jobs and then not have jobs, and then have jobs and not have jobs, and I had like a little crappy side job. Pretty much I was doing other things to kind of get me by and to keep myself stable enough, again, living from paycheck to paycheck. And I'm also going to use this Naked Urban Decay palette. I think I'm going to use Buck. While you're in that struggling phase, that's like when you're being tested. It really makes you look at whether this is what you actually want to do. And that's another thing too. You go through a lot of phases in your life, and if you're doing something, I'm like really sucking at this right now. If you're doing something and you're not willing to struggle for it, that's when you know that it's not something that you actually want to do. If you're not willing to put up with something that you don't have to put up with just to do what you want to do, what you think you want to do, then it's not what you actually want to do. So yeah, so I was putting up with this stuff and doing a lot of different jobs. But they were all great though, because I was working on like Vogue Italia, I was working with like Nylon magazine, ID magazine, like really cool stuff I was doing. But I was working on these cool jobs, not making any money, doing things living a way I didn't really necessarily have to live, just because I wanted to do those things. And that made me really realize that that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please and thank you. Share it with your friends, okay? Put somebody on. Like, isn't it the best when you find a new channel that you actually like? So yeah, I love this channel. Like, this was good. Like, where have you been all my YouTube life? If you may feel like that about this channel, please thumbs it up, like it, send it to your friend. So I told you guys earlier that I talk in circles. So coming back to a point where I touched on briefly, I'm going to come back to that. Appreciating where you are right now. Again, another cliche. I think people go through things for a reason. I think that whatever you're going through right now is building you for what's to come tomorrow. It's either going to build or break you. I had an internship where first off, I knew I didn't want to do it in the first place. And secondly, I was just doing it because I thought it was going to help me get to the next step, which it did in some way. It definitely did. So if you're doing something and you're feeling like it's sort of wear you down mentally, physically, you just feel like you can't do it anymore. First off, if you feel very strongly like that, like you really can't do it anymore, then don't. So appreciating where you are at the current moment is all about not rushing for something to come that you may not be ready for. We do things and go through things for a reason, to learn, to grow. So if you're rushing, if you're doing a half-ass job at something and you're just kind of showing up just to be there and you're not really wanting to be there, you're not really helping out, it's not going to help you get to what's next. It's not going to help you get to the next step. Okay, so on top of this shadow or that blush, I'm going to go back to the same Naked palette and use the Toasted shade. So it's this one right here, Toasted. A lot of people, including myself, have and tend to get discouraged, with what you're doing at the moment, thinking that it's not big enough, it's not good enough, it's not solid enough, as in this is only temporary. A lot of these little tests, as I call them, are just things to see if you can handle something of that caliber. If you can handle something that may be a little bit more long-term and have a little bit more longevity and a little bit more responsibility. People are going to notice your work ethic. People are going to notice you have a good attitude. People are going to notice that you really want to be here, that you want to do this job, and you want to do a good job, and they're going to bring you on for more things. So yeah, that just, again, a lot of this stuff is common sense, but it's all in the way you apply yourself. So that's a little bit of mascara, just enough. As I still keep applying, just enough. Back to this Black Radiance duo. Can't force something that you don't have control of. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, things are going to happen for you. Things are going to happen, and doors are going to open, and you're going to find yourself doing something that you want to do. I know it's happening for me slowly but surely, because I'm doing things that I like to do. I'm doing things that I want to do, and I'm working hard for these things, and and the universe, as cheesy as that is, the universe recognizes it. So yeah, I'm pretty much done almost, guys. I don't even know what else I can say at this point. I feel like I'm rambling, and I hope someone finds some kind of something out of this video. Set that, add some more product, why not? Cake face is cute, I like it. Goofy. Okay, I have to wrap this up because this is taking way longer than I thought it was going to take. I hope that this video was helpful to someone. I hope that you heard something in here that was interesting to you. There was a good little message. This is my first Get Ready With Me. This is my first Chit Chat Get Ready With Me. Or first Get Ready With Me, period. So hopefully this was informative. So again, yeah, hopefully that was interesting. I don't want to rush to the end of this video, but that's pretty much it. I have applied all my makeup. I am pretty much done now. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm going to go get some tacos. So on top of this lip shade, I'm going to put on some just cheapy clear lip gloss, nothing special. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you have not subscribed already, which I'm sure most of you have not, go ahead and subscribe. This is a brand new channel. I'm uploading quite regularly. I'm trying to anyway. And I really appreciate a thumbs up. Share this video if you like it. Share it with your friends. Put your friends onto a new channel that you may like, they may like. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you for your time, and bye for now. Have a good day.